Hello and welcome to this video. This is part 2 of our honey broccoli, and today we're going to steam our rice. We're going to add more honey to the fermenter. Then we're going to let it set up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have to wash our rice. So basically, all we're going to do is we're going to take water. Our rice, gently stir it. We're going to gently stir this. Drain as much of the water off as we can. And we're going to repeat this process for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the water is completely clear. The rice that I am using is a sweet rice. I'll put a graphic up right in here somewhere. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. It's something my Western tongue just will not do real well. It's real good rice. I've used it in broccoli recipes before. We're using 2 pounds. Then once we get the rice washed, we'll take it and we'll let it set up. I usually let mine set up about 3 to 4 hours, depending on what I have going on and what time I have. Okay, now that we've washed our rice, we got it relatively clean. So all I'm going to do now is we're going to take this here, make sure our rice isn't sticking to the edge of the pan. And we're going to let it soak. It's still a little bit cloudy, but it's not enough to worry about. So we'll take this out. We'll cover it up. And we'll be back in about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, I've made a decision out of boredom that my rice is still soaking, but what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to add the 3 pounds of honey into our fermenter. Take that. It's smelling really good. So go ahead and we'll dump our honey. Get as much of that honey goodness in there as we can. This is just a larger container of the same honey that I used yesterday. If I think about it, I'll go ahead and throw a graphic up at some point in the video with the honey label so you see exactly what I used. Taking my sterile, cleaned stir stick, I'm going to go ahead and stir this up real good. Get all that honey mixed in there. The addition of the honey into the already existing jute that's been fermenting overnight for about 24 hours now. Kind of makes it look like coffee. Kind of looks like coffee with cream, or with heavy cream or something in it. So that we have that done. Probably got about another hour and a half to 2 hours before we get the rice ready to steam. We're going to steam the rice for an hour. Then we'll come back and we'll be adding our Gotobop to the or steamed rice into our fermenter. So see you then. Okay, we are now at the point where we're ready to steam our rice. I've taken my rice out of the bowl, strained it, given it one little final rinse off. Now we're going to put it in our steamer. What I have is I've lined my steamer with cheesecloth. This just prevents rice from falling out, and it makes, when we pull this out the steamer and we lay it out to cool it, you'll see why, one of the benefits of putting the cheesecloth in. So we're going to put in our rice. Okay. Just going to have to smush it around. There we go. Set that down there. What we're going to do is we're going to fold our cheesecloth up over our rice, just kind of seal it in. There we go. We're going to take our lid for our steamer, and we'll take it, put it on. We're going to move it back here to our pot. We're going to let it do its steam thing. Let me go ahead. I'm going to set the timer for 1 hour. And in 1 hour's time, this rice, we're going to pull it off or spread it out. I'm going to cool it off in the refrigerator. There's some schools of thought that say it's better to go ahead and let it cool naturally. I don't know. They could be right. I usually use a refrigerator to quick cool it, simply because I have a cat. My cat loves to play with rice grains as toys when you're not looking. So that is another reason I encourage you, if you have the space and ability to do it, to let it cool naturally. You probably get a better understand. You probably do actually get a better tasting rice, or a better cooled rice for taking and putting into your fermenter. Like I said, I have a cat, and he gets into trouble. He gets into no good anytime you turn your back on him. So that's just how I kind of do things, and that's why I do it that way. And here in about an hour, we'll go ahead and we'll pull it out, cool it, spread it out on a cookie sheet, and cool it. Then once it's cool, we'll drop it in our fermenter. So see you in a little bit over an hour. Hello and welcome back. We have done our hour of steaming the rice, and now it's time to spread it out and let it cool. Basically, I'm just going to take it here. And this, what I said earlier in the video about using the cheesecloth, this is where using the cheesecloth has its biggest payoff. If I don't burn my fingers. Is take your cheesecloth with your rice, and you just take it and pull it out. Boom. You're right there with it. And you open up your cheesecloth to reveal your rice. And basically, just take a spoon Go down here. And you just spread your rice out to cool. Keep it on the cookie sheet. Mm-hmm. So this is going to probably take about, in the refrigerator, probably about 45 minutes to an hour to cool. Then once it's cooled, we'll take it and we'll put it in our fermenter. So here's waiting on the rice. Okay, we are at the final section of this video. We will be putting our cooled off rice into our fermenter. The pressure from the CO2 release is pushing my lid up a little bit, and I push it back down. You can see you get a little bit of action on the bubbler or the airlock. So what we'll do is it's still percolating pretty well on its own, which is a good thing, which means we got fermentation going on. So take this off. All right, set it here. I've got the breakdown of the honey. I've got a real nice frothy top. I've got bubbles popping. So move this out of the way. And basically, for this step, basically what you need to make sure is your hands are clean. Wash your hands real good. And basically at this point, all we're going to do is we're going to pull our rice off our cheesecloth. Break it up a little bit, put it in there. It's important to have clean hands at this point. This keeps any contamination, any dirt or anything. And we're taking our rice. Okay, some people choose to use their hands and mush it in. If your hands are clean, that's not a bad thing to do. But when I learned how to brew, it was reinforced and beat into me time after time. It's a rice stone to come off my finger. That you don't, once you start your ingredients into your wort or your must, you don't put your hands in it. And that's just me. So I will be taking and giving it a good stir. Getting that rice mixed in real good. It smells really good. It's got it has a very distinct mockly smell to it, but it also has a really nice sweet smell to it. So we'll get this mixed in real good. Yeah, get this rice, and we'll keep it stirring it twice a day. Like I said, I'm not real sure how long this is going to take, simply because with the amount of sugar, I will probably check it as far as doing a match test or something, probably in about 8 to 10 days. But I'm pretty much going to keep track of my airlock and keep an eye on it as I stir it and show you, just basically keep an eye. I may taste it. I may stop the fermentation process early if I come to a good balance of sweetness and mockly taste. But I don't know. I tend to let things ferment to dryness just because that's me. I prefer things that are dry. Every now and again I get a sweet tooth for alcohol, but mainly I like my alcohols fairly dry. My wines, my meads, and what have you. So we'll go ahead and call that good. We'll put our lid back on, and we'll wait till see what happens when this thing is finished fermenting. Until next time, better brewing, love, and peace.